All right, and talk about Stevie again. So anyways, let's get into the replay. This is the Cheshire. The Cheshire is a tier 8 British heavy cruiser. She's got a couple of gimmicks about her. One is that she's got the 234mm guns that you find on the Drake and the Goliath at tier 9 and 10 on the tech trees. She has those at 8. Well, I appreciate it, Taro. Just make sure that you're okay yourself first, okay? She's got a super heal, which allows her to have a lot of staying power on the battlefield. Beyond that, I don't really like her. You can take defensive anti-air, which just looks like what you're taking, or you can take hydro. But besides that, she's a gun platform with also some torpedoes. So,
and the anti-air over hydro is because I forgot to switch them.
Okay, why were you running it in the first place?
I think it's the default.
Okay, so you just got the ship, you threw it all together, you went out and didn't realize. Oh crap!
I've taken it into co-op.
Yeah, you screwed around with the mess around.
Yeah, it's like first or second game in an actual random battle.
Okay, so I mean it's just an honest mistake, and that's fine. I would have also accepted I divisioned with a carrier player earlier, so I knew I was coming up with planes. You know what I mean? Like there's other reasons too, so you know, good reasons. Anyway, let's look at your build. You've got main armaments mod 1, damage control, aiming systems, propulsion, and concealment. Now, I always like to look at maneuverability. What is your rudder shift time? Right about 10 seconds. You could make the argument, therefore, for steering gears to get it under 10. That's my rule of thumb. It really comes down to your preference and how you play it. If you're doing a lot of stop and go, propulsion's fine. If you hit W 4 times and never touch the throttle again, then steering is your better choice. Also, why this module here instead of, well, engine room protection at the very least, or I honestly, if you like the ship enough, you can invest in one of the special modules. But why did you not take engine room protection here?
No particular reason. It was just sort of a default. I guess one is to allow me to take some fires, let them burn, and then when I'm in the in-between time, be able to not have it burn too long. But no, there was no specific reason for one over the other.
Fair enough. The reason I bring it up is typically I like to take engine room on cruisers because when you lose your engines, a lot of times, you know, you lose a lot more than that, or your rudder as well. Now, you can get by not taking this by taking Last Stand, which you didn't take anyway. So I think this would be a better choice for you, especially with your commander build. Otherwise, fair. Is this a special captain?
I think it's not. I mean, it's not Cunningham. Trying to.
If it's Dunkirk, you can see how he helps 3 of the skills you've selected, which is really nice, and it's a premium ship.
So. Yes, it's Jack Dunkirk.
Okay. Yeah, Bert or Jack, same thing. Good. Okay, so you've got enhanced grease the gears, or improved, whatever. Same thing with consumables enhancements and consumable specialist. So, I mean, that's really sexy to have on a cruiser like this.
If only I had a consumable that benefited from it.
Yeah, that's the only downside, right? On the Chesire, those 2 skills are not as good as they are on possibly other ships, because you only have that defensive fire or that hydro where it applies.
Right, doesn't help your heal, doesn't help your DCP.
And consumable enhancements doesn't affect AA boost at all. Consumable specialist does.
Yeah, right here. Yep. So is this captain used on other ships then?
Yes.
Which other one or ones?
I have him trained for my St. Vincent, So, but for cruisers, I think I just use him as my cruiser, as a cruiser, a special captain.
Okay. I mean, because he's fine on like I'm thinking like Belfast or Belfast 43, for example, right? Because you got the smoke and the hydro and radar.
Yeah, definitely use it on Belfast.
Cool.
That would be amazing build for a Fiji or an Edinburgh, for example, too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so fair enough. Now let's talk about the other stuff here. You've got Adrenaline Rush, and then you've got Top Grade Gunner. Those also make perfect sense in those cruisers you're talking about. Concealment and Superintendent also makes sense, especially with you having a heal. Getting one extra charge of a heal is kind of sexy. Then you've got Priority Target, and you've got Incoming Fire Alert. Why do you have both?
I like to take that sometimes when I'm going to be kiting a lot. I don't think I've necessarily I didn't build the captain for the Cheshire.
Okay.
But knowing that when it's like, oh, I'm being targeted a lot, but also when I'm kiting, knowing when I'm being shot at can give me a little extra reaction time. It's like, I just got shot at, where is it coming from, so that way I can turn and make sure that I'm aiming to it.
Personally, I would agree with what Cthulhu said, and that's exactly what I was going to mention. I wouldn't take Incoming Fire Alert and Priority Target. I'd pick one of these two. Personally, I would prefer Priority Target over Incoming Fire Alert, and I would kick this over, as he said, to Last Stand. I think that's going to be a better use for you, because when you lose your rudder, hey, you still have movement, right? When you lose your engine, you still have movement as well. So I think for a cruiser, this is far more impactful than Incoming Fire Alert. If you've got Priority Target, Incoming Fire Alert isn't going to be as useful because you already know if you're being targeted. Honestly, if you're being targeted and you just talked about kiting away, you're probably going to be watching for muzzle flashes from the ships that you're kiting away from, right?
I am, but you never, especially if it ends up becoming a kind of a sticky situation, and it's like I don't see any muzzle flashes from the ships that I'm kiting away from, then I can check, is like someone else is shooting at me, and can adjust to them.
Okay. All right. Other commentary on the skills here. I mean, if there's a way to bring Survivability Expert in, fine, but I don't. You'd have to drop your consumables in order to bring in Survivability Expert, probably.
You either have to drop the consumable skill, like probably the 2.1, and then maybe the Incoming Fire Alert, or you'd have to drop the Top Grade Gunner if you wanted.
Yep.
And those would probably.
It's a massive trade-off, and depends on the ship if it's worth it or not.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for the Cheshire, I probably would be good because it doesn't have smoke, so it doesn't have a way to go dark. So having that extra AP, and considering that it has very weak armor, however, because this wasn't built for the Cheshire, that's why the skills are definitely going to be a bit different.
But what I'm getting at is like even Belfast will benefit from that. Survivability Expert, actually HP.
Yeah.
So,
but I think for Belfast it's less useful because it has the ability to go dark and to be able to have that extra defense, where something like the Cheshire doesn't have that at all. It's purely based on its detectability radius.
I think if we're purely talking Cheshire, what I would do is drop the Incoming Fire Alert, drop the Consumables Enhancement at tier 2, because it quite frankly doesn't do anything, and pick the Survivability Expert.
Yep.
But that would be dedicated 100% Cheshire.
Right. For a general cruiser build, this is fine. I'm just trying to highlight other skills that would be useful for that situation. So Survivability Expert, for example, and Last Stand are both good options. And hello, Only Smed, by the way. Happy Friday to you, too. Signals. Anti-Det, Fire Chance, and Hydro, or Defensive Anti-Air. So I'm guessing you're trying to conserve flags a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into your game.
Would highly recommend the heal flag, especially since it's a super heal.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're conserving, I would take that.
Now, my goal for this game, the entire reason why I'm playing Cheshire, is like, okay, well, it's something different, but also I was trying to do the last missions for the Michelangelo, and I was on citadels and kills with a cruiser.
Okay.
So,
and you didn't feel like playing co-op and being done with it quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
I was divving with my div mate, Eddie Bow.
Eddie. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is he smoke or is he reload booster?
Awaiting instructions.
He is smoke.
Smoke. We're also not. I'm not trying to think through this game that hard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's not going to be any fun him smoking for me kind of things.
Okay, and that's fair. And frankly, I don't know that means a lot anyways for you guys right now. Like, you've got the bigger guns, so you get a little bit less, smoke fire, or worse smoke fire penalty, right? You don't have the hydro, so you're not really equipped to sit in a smoke and not deal with torpedoes. And ironically, it's a carrier game, so you've got defensive anti-air, so there you go. Okay. Now, for those of you guys listening, when we were talking about co-op and getting it done, I did this mission in maybe 4 or 5 games, and what really helped was actually one of my other viewers, Cookie, suggesting lower tiers, and I did it with an Omaha, of all things, because you can get a ton of citadels at low tiers on other cruisers that don't know how to dodge or like angle, or you have a lot of bots that you can beat up on. It was so much, and the maps are smaller too, so it was like done, and I got to go back to other things.
Yeah, I farm a lot of citadels by going into co-op with a Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. That can work too.
Yeah. I usually use my Des Moines, but co-op it is.
I'll tell you what though.
Easy.
I was shocked at how much easier it was to do the low tier than the high tier, because I originally was doing the high tier as well, but I kept on running into ships that would YOLO in and just smash things, like Klebears and whatnot.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's true. You could take the what's it called?
The French
Smolensk. Yeah, he's talking about the ship that John the Ruthless. Thank you. Sorry with a C, I couldn't remember. High rate of fire. You get close enough, you don't care about your AP shells and pen angle rules, whatever. Anyway, in this game, you are setting yourself in a kite away position. Very smart early on. I would not be shooting the Shimanto anymore. I'd be focusing on the Georgia. Now, you said you're going for citadels and fires, so I'm surprised you... Or kills. Yeah.
So I'm not going to citadel anything at this point in the game. So I'm just using HE until... I didn't want to have to try and hope to get any long-range citadels.
Okay.
I was waiting until the game progresses.
If I'm not mistaken, Cheshire has a 234s, right, and the quarter pen on the HE, so you can comfortably shoot everything here, get the pen damage, hope for fires.
So what I was trying to say was, at the beginning of the game, I would have had AP loaded. And the reason for that, if your focus is on getting citadels and kills, you saw Shimanto there. He game returned. There's always the chance that you'll get 1 or 2 lucky citadels at that long range. And hey, that's 1 or 2 less that you need for your overall mission. You're done with it sooner. Happy.
That is one aggressive Georgia.
Yeah. He's about to aggressively die. I like that you're continuing to kite away. Obviously, his focus is on somebody else. And because you do have... whoa, that's interesting. Oh, secondaries. Okay. I was going to say, because you do have priority target, you know that he's not looking at you.
Yeah, I think he saw the smoke from your div mate and turned into it.
Yeah.
I like how you waited for him to die and then
Unfortunately,
fired your gun.
is about to go down, so a bit outnumbered here.
And here's the part where you see 3 and then all the incoming fire, because, I mean, you know they're shooting at you. Yeah, that Georgia definitely speed boosted in.
I can see the value of the incoming fire on top of the priority target if you get shot at by multiple angles. Like,
Yeah, that's what he was saying earlier.
because right here, right now, all the ships that are targeting you are in the same direction, so you see when they shoot anyway.
Are you trying to team Tor Betty?
I'm honestly not sure what I was torping there. I think it was just, let me throw these out because they're all pretty far away.
That's the point I'm trying to make. They're all pretty far away and you've got 8-kilometer torps. They ain't hit nothing except your teammate. Oh, look, Suri.
Good. Yeah, you switched to AP. Nice.
Yeah, this was what I was waiting for. But also, I gotta shoot at the DD because.
You could have switched to HE. You got gun feeder, right?
No.
No, you didn't take gun feeder.
No, he didn't have gun feeder.
Any damage on a DD is good damage.
Also, I would have been slowing down too. You're a little slow to react to that. I would have slowed down a few minutes, maybe about a minute ago. Essentially, when they stop targeting you, that's when you know to slow down. Also, welcome back, button.
Gonna be a long weekend.
So yeah, this is one of those odd situations where, you know, you've got your mission, so you want to go for citadels, but you also still want to be impactful in the game. And so you've had two opportunities kind of go past you because you were using the other shell.
Yep.
And now because you didn't slow down as early, you're forced to turn in, and oh hey, look, it's a Geniza now that's got your broadside. Well, at least you got the Citadel and the kill in the Suri.
The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
I find it interesting you're kind of ignoring the Geniza now.
Yeah, this is where it was like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this, so let me try and get the citadels on the Shamanta who's not really moving.
So you actually...
Clearly yeah, he is.
You had a really good opportunity here, and I don't think you've picked up on it because you weren't looking at the Gneisenau much. You could have actually turned right here, gotten behind the island, and then taken him out of the game.
I think ignoring the Gneisenau is your biggest mistake.
Yes, I would agree.
As you said on triple fire.
ECP that triple fire.
He can't.
What's this gun's other Chesire again?
234.
234.
It's like Goliath guns.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I think you should be doing the old trick. Get a fire, then switch to AP.
I think at this point he probably figured he was gonna die, so what the hell, and just didn't really put much
I
thought
meant
into it.
In general, overall.
So you missed the part at the beginning. He's trying to go for the Citadel and kill mission for the dockyard.
Oh. Yep.
You are very, very greedy if you try to get out there to get this shot.
Do that in co-op and bring it to Wayne.
Yeah, we went through that. You're going for it.
I just want to reiterate that you need to stay there until your heal comes back.
It's back in 8 seconds. He's fine. Trust.
The only thing that will save you is the island.
Look, you got yourself your heal. You got a Citadel from it.
But he didn't kill the submarine, so it's still meh.
No, okay, fair enough.
Concentrate
And I don't
fire
want to
on
hear
the
accuse
enemy
of
warship.
submarine in this game. They're somewhere. That's why
All
we
right.
call the silent service.
So if you want Citadels now, it's basically the Shimanto, the Michelangelo, and the Yorktown.
Citadel? Question mark?
Yep. Of course, has to be a Citadel.
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Hey, I don't care. It just doubled up for me, so.
All
Yeah.
stations requesting fire on the designated target.
Yep.
So at this point in the game, I'm feeling we're feeling pretty good.
Anti-aircraft
We
gun
we
cruiser on
have
full alert.
a ship lead, a small health lead, and caps.
Right, so this is when it all goes horribly wrong.
Yep.
Time to throw.
Exactly.
So I'm just putting it out here. All of what you just said, and then I want you to add one more piece to this, and that is that the Yorktown just got spotted relatively close to your gun range. You just have to go a little bit farther forward, and you might be able to catch his broadside.
Yep.
The bait is there. Oh, Lexington is in trouble though.
Yorktown getting spotted. Look where his Lexington is.
I know, yeah, I just mentioned that too. Yeah.
What is going on here?
Wow, you're wisely going dark. That's good. Now get yourself in a position to kite away and smack the Yorktown. Oh, also, you had no idea that those shells were coming, despite priority target, and did you notice that?
Yep.
Incoming fire alert. It failed you there.
It was.
Wasn't selected as target. Like,
Correct.
how
That was
did
a
they
blind
shoot
shot.
there?
He did a blind shot.
That was a blind shot from North Cal.
Well, now you can't shoot the Yorktown.
So no, you still can. Right here, forget the Bismarck. Forget the Bismarck. Yorktown. Get the AP. You know, get the Citadel. Never mind. Eddie just smoked himself.
So I think it is maybe about now that Eddie is asking me if I can still shoot, or it's coming up soon.
I mean, the answer is yes until you die, but okay. Well, Yorktown is making
It
it.
was right here that he was asking me if I could still shoot, and I said yes.
And then you said no.
And then I said, no, I can't.
Yeah.
So despite all of those tools, oof. Well, I love this. It's like
I'm
you're.
gonna ask you right now if you could still shoot.
I love this right now because your turrets are looking that way, and your shells came in from that way. It's like you weren't paying attention. I love death picks.
Yes. So yeah. So now you can understand why I didn't say whether there would be one or not, considering how many times I almost died and then didn't.
Much obliged.
Mm-hmm.
No, you should have told you that there's a death pick, and then he would have paused and said here it's coming like 3 times and be wrong.
Would have wasted so much of all of our time.
Right, we don't do that here at all.
No.
Oh no, never.
All right. Hands off the wheel, everybody. This is TreeSock. moving the camera. So if you get motion sick, that's on him, not me. On him. I said that preemptively, and then you go and you did a full 360 no scope just now. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a nice job looking at the Yorktown you never shot at.
Yeah. Honestly, what you should be doing right now is spectating the North Carolina to tell Eddie where's his guns looking.
I definitely stopped paying
North
attention.
Carolina does, because if he blind shot a target he easily could have locked onto, I don't think he knows what he's doing.
I want to quickly point out that that is a stock North Cal too. Like, this is either the luckiest guy ever, or some super unicum on a weird kind of mission.
How do you know he's full stock?
I didn't say. I mean, he has 53,000 hit points, so it's not the upgraded hull.
Right. Which I agree with you, which usually will lead me to believe he's a stock ship, but some people don't pick the hull first.
Either way, we have to talk about how dispersion can be helpful because you can be less accurate, and that helps your shells get those lucky citadels, and that's, I think, what happened there with North Carolina.
Was it one citadel or was it multiple hits?
I don't know if we'll ever have an easy way of knowing.
To shoot him, or if he was locked onto the Lexington and missed that badly.
No, he
I
had
doubt
to
that.
have been shooting at me. Yeah. Either way, at this point, I'm not paying attention because I thought we were in a really good spot. And I had gotten 4 citadels, 2 kills. So it's like, all right, 6 points out of a random battle. You know, 1.2 million potential damage. I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and then your Hipper just died to the Michelangelo, and your Takahashi, Mr. Tequila Avenger, is probably drinking quite a bit of that right now. Oh, and Eddie's detected too. Huh?
How is
Damn it, Eddie.
detected?
Probably not in the smoke on a plane?
I think he was next to the smoke, not on it, yeah. Alright, well, here goes Mr. Tequila Avenger. Boom. Speaking of... Turo, dude. Oh my god. 5 gifted subs now.
Is Eddie getting greedy for the kill, getting himself spotted and detected?
I think Eddie's realizing that they can still lose this game.
I think this was Eddie's game plan, was to get EvilTreeSock killed. So he can get all the glory.
Mission successful.
And he decides to leave the safety of his smoke because he doesn't want to wait for the Lexington to spot, which is coming in a few seconds. Turo is a scholar. Guys, just do me a favor and just say thanks to Turo.
Ironically, I don't blame Eddie for that move because I bet you the North Cal's DCP's down, so you are like precious seconds.
Yeah, I might have, if I was the Harakaze, if I was Eddie, I would have left that smoke. I wouldn't have shot, but I would have left the smoke at least so that I could try to line up a torpedo hit on the North Carolina or something. At least give the Iowa something to shoot at. I'm guessing Eddie's using the 100s. I mean, most people that use Harakazes use the 100s, so. The big question is, where's the Michelangelo? Because he will chew up Eddie. Another reason why I wouldn't be shooting.
I mean, he kept A. I would assume the Michelangelo appearing in the gap between the islands going...
At B.
Like, B, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would expect him to appear there, smoke, and then hydro Eddie.
Like, this is...
100s confirmed. Oh, look! Michelangelo, B-cap.
I'm just as shocked as you are. I never saw that coming.
You would have expected the Iowa to kill... Dude, it's an Iowa sitting broadside and reversing. That alone should give you enough information about this Iowa.
And he's been doing that for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I literally suspect that the carrier of the Iowa and the Hirakaze should have killed this NC by now.
Oh, Eddie's at.
He ignored going after the NC. He saw the Michelangelo and for the Michelangelo. Daddy should stop shooting. Like, but he wants to die.
Nah, he's fine. Trust. Oh, he stopped shooting.
Too little, too late.
And here comes a
mark?
shot, and just misses. Eddie is very lucky that the Michelangelo didn't go through the B cap, instead stopped. My God, he burned out the North Carol.
That's why he stopped shooting.
Because seriously, Michelangelo goes through, smokes, and hydros, and there you go. Joker, hey, congratulations on the work week ending.
More importantly, like, you don't need the B cap. Look at the points. Look at the time.
Yeah, look at the point.
Yeah, you
Eddie
went
should
up
just
on cap,
run
let
at
him
this
have it.
point. The only way for the
he's
Michelangelo
running.
to win at this point if he kills all 3 ships.
Right. The Iowa he torps rush. Secondary is the Hirakazi, and then shoots the carrier. Like,
I love his name.
Exactly.
Possible threats.
I love his name,
And
Trigger.
why Eddie should just run away and not give the Michelangelo the chance.
Honestly, hi Sithkin. He, like I said, he's running. He's just running towards Michelangelo, but that's fine. Trust.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's not a bad decision to run towards him because, like, he has to kill the Iowa, right? Which means he can't wait for...
The Iowa that's lazily reversing into rain.
Yeah, like, just go forward, get on the other side of the island, and the Michelangelo can't do anything to you.
I mean, he could just stay outside of 6 kilometers. Like,
Well-
that
There's that, too.
Well, there's the victory and a dead Iowa.
well done.
Golf claps for you.
No way Eddie went there. Eddie saw he had 4 kills and he wanted a Kraken.
Yeah. Absolutely he did. Absolutely
Like I
he did.
said, as soon as TreeSock stole 2 kills, I have to get him killed.
So, I mean, it was a fine game. The only things that I would say, I didn't see you really slowing down that much. A couple times, of course, to get behind islands and whatnot, but I'd like to see you when you're kiting away slowing down more. You don't have to kite away at full speed, especially with priority target, and you know that nobody's targeting you anymore. That's when it's time to slow down. Okay. The other thing is, if you don't like to do that, I really think steering gears might have been a better choice for you.
Can you show the damage received on the third side? I want
Yep.
to see what the North Cal actually did.
Yep, I'm getting there. So, artillery. North Carolina hit you 5 times for almost 30k, 29,000. So that's what, 3 citadels? One was the final hit that killed you. I know that much.
Yeah. The final hit was overkill, and then
So I think he took 2 citadels from that blind shot from that North Carolina. Ouch.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Citadel.
And that's where, in my opinion, if you're not constantly moving forward and backward, where the wiggle is more important, the ability to angle your armor quicker is very important. So, still a fun game. I mean, you, like you said, made progress towards your mission, which was your whole goal here. So, how long did it take for you to finish that cruiser Citadel and kill mission?
It took me a couple days, but that was just more of from taking my time with it.
Okay.
like honestly, like if I was in a Cheshire on that map, quite frankly, in any cruiser tier 8 on that map, and I came up with 2 kills and 106k and a win, I'd be very happy. That is a terrible cruiser map.
It's rough. This is another. I also want to just take a moment and highlight, because we talked about your commander build. Survivability expert might have come into play here. Might have come into play. Because
Might
remember,
have lived, yeah.
Yeah.
it gives you additional hit points so you can keep healing back.
Yeah. I mean, how many times did I survive with less than 1,000 HP?
Twice?
2 times.
Yeah.
You survived 2 times. The third was too much.
Right. And the irony is,
That third time, it would have been just enough.
right, that's what I'm getting
The
at.
question is how much of the damage you could have actually healed back to,
Mm-hmm.
because like you weren't on full heals anymore at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
But what got you killed, the real irony here is what got you killed is those blind shots from the North Carolina fired just after you went dark, so you were no longer locked on and you no longer had incoming fire alert warning you that shells were coming.
Yep.
I just find it hilarious. We had that whole talk about investing into both those skills to have that knowledge, and it was just pulled right out from underneath you at the very moment you took 2 citadels and went, ow!
it wasn't like these shells when they landed next to him and on him. They look quite tight for a salvo that was fired without a lock on.
So
I mean, it happens.
in this game, there's a little bit of, I guess you could call it like a ghost lock on. You go dark, but you're still technically locked on for like another second or something. And it was that moment, I think, that North Carolina fired his shells. It's happened to me a lot of times. So,
And
anyway.
despite being a heavy cruiser with 234 millimeter guns, its armor is
Oops.
bad.
It's typical British heavy cruiser. They don't have armor. They tank with hit points and super heals.
Right.
It's an acquired taste.
And they tank from dodging, frankly. Speed is
And
armor.
dodging. Can we quickly say that this Iowa there that spawned at A2 and came all the way over to that sea? Oh god.
You know what Iowa stands for, right?
No.
Idiots out walking around.
Yeah, that checks out.
I mean, hey, whatever. It is what it
Never heard
is.
this before, but
Well, see, I'm a Midwesterner. I mean, you've heard that pudding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the important thing about him is he didn't die until, well, they'd already won anyway. So,
relaxing.
what is he doing? He's turning into the wind, Grunty. That's what he's doing. He's turning into the wind.
Oh,
Trust.
okay.
I mean, like you said, some people like the real immersion, so turn into the wind that non-existent in this game.
The digital wind.
I mean, he turned into the, but like, I've never seen a carrier reversing towards it. That defeats the purpose of turning into the wind if you're reversing. Just
Listen, it's a new tactic they were trying out, and they quickly moved on.
I mean, if the wind is from the southwest and he's reversing and he's using a catapult, I don't know. Anyway, you completely distracted me from what I wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna back up a little bit on the. I wanted to talk about something here. It was, but I wanted to talk about something here, and then I look and I'm like, oh crap, the moment passed because we were too busy laughing at the. Okay, so, hey Stalwart, right here, TreeSock. This is when you've got 3 people targeting you, and your incoming fire alert is just basically boop 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 going nuts, right? And you're basically, it's basically telling you, pucker up, it's coming, right? And in a moment, they are going to change their. Oh, they already did. They changed their focus on the. I think that was a Bismarck.
yeah,
Oh, right
it was
here.
a Bismarck.
Right here. You're not dark anymore. You're not, or you are dark. I mean, you're not spotted. And they're shooting at your Harakaze buddy. This is the point where I would actually instinctively stop, slow down, maybe even throw it into reverse. I would at the very least slow down to half speed. There's no reason to kite away fast here. Honestly, the farther you kite away too, the less helpful you are for your div mate, who just happens to be that Harakaze. So I would have been slowing down there instinctively, even while you're shooting. If they're not targeting you, why do you need to worry about dodging them?
Yeah. No, I mean, that all makes sense.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to highlight that with the replay render. I made a mental note to do that because it's easier to see it when you're top down and looking at the map. Also, that helps you with AP into these two cruisers that keep showing up that you want to smack. You know, this is the Surrey right here, for example.
Yeah, you also have limit. I think that was pretty maximum range for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to stop shooting the Shimanto and the Gneisenau here because they were not in range anymore.
Right. And here's the problem when you kite too far away. I highlighted this on Rob's video on the Drake. We talked a lot about kiting on that one. It was on Sleeping Giant. So if you want to get some more, you know, of listening to me talk about how to do it and stuff, go look up for that on the YouTube. It's I don't remember the title, but I know Rob plays, and it's in the Drake. And I don't have a lot of Drakes on the channel, so just go search for that. Because you're making the same mistake that he made. You kited away too far, so now you want to get your guns in, and the only way to do that is a turn in. This is what gets you really screwed. Or could have, and kind of does, kind of doesn't. And you lose a lot of hit points. This is the first time you almost die, right? See, so now you turned in, so now you're broadside to the Gneisenau, who frankly is focusing on the Iowa, but he'll see you in a second. And the Shimanto and Surrey are, well, Shimanto shooting you, Surrey Turpits for whatever reason. So that forced you to take refuge behind the island versus you could have been dubbing away when you needed to, right? Since you've turned in. And then here comes the greed.
Yes.
That didn't get you punished. I mean, you got shot at by the Bismarck, but still. Okay, so there's the North Carolina salvo on the Lex. I want to see this now. Here's the part. You're going to get spotted. These things are very compressed, but it looks like he fired right... It's very close to when you went dark.
Yeah.
And
It
clunk.
might be the one buffer second that you mentioned earlier.
Yep, I think that's exactly what got you there. And then you're detected again. You're super healing again. Eddie's trying to save you, but you're kiting away really fast. Oh, he stopped anyway. And then here's the part.
That was a selfish smoke.
That was
for
a selfish
himself
smoke.
To shoot.
Yep. Here's the part where he says, "Can you still fire your guns?" And you're like, "Yes." And wait, no, I can't.
What was the question even? Like, why? Like,
I think he was just
did
asking.
he thought
like,
you were
I
too
could
far
still-
away to shoot, or what?
I think he was asking if I was still alive enough to shoot.
Hmm.
And at that moment, I had about a third of my HP, and then
Mhm.
the next moment, I did not have any.
Right. You have hit points. You can shoot if needed. Right. All you need is one, and you're good. And then he just got chonked again. It's true, Dutch. He could have been behind the island as well. But that did not happen.
Oh, I was reversing the whole time there, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, I keep in mind, he did a real world tour because he started, like Puddin mentioned, all the way at like A5. He got all the way down to H10, turned around, went to the middle, and is now reversing. So, cool.
And then dies to the Michelangelo right at the end.
Yeah, well, you know, The important thing is he didn't throw a ship away when you guys really needed it. So, there you go.
Not for the lack of trying, though.
Yeah, we have a very slim HP margin right at the end.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, TreeSock, thanks for sending that one in. Any more questions, or are you good?
No, that's all. It was
right.
a fun game, and I don't think you actually have any Cheshire games besides like your initial reviews. So I'll figure I'll pad out the ship roster.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.